In just 18 months, Bobbi Althoff went from generating millions of views on every video to having her podcast cancelled, her marriage destroyed, and millions of people celebrating the end of her career. My name's Ryan, and we'll be covering just how Bobbi Althoff went from fame to shame overnight. Before Bobbi became the podcaster everyone was talking about, she was just another person trying to make it on TikTok. Her first clip was her dancing with a banana, which unexpectedly got watched nearly 2 million times on the platform, before moving on to sharing updates about her pregnancy and life as a mom. At a time when everyone was trying to look perfect, Bobbi went the opposite way. She started posting as the bad mom with deadpan humor and self-deprecating jokes.
I don't care what anyone says, there is nothing more embarrassing than walking around with one of these. Everyone knows how it got there.
And her most famous early video was a joke about naming her daughter Richard.
I just always really loved the name Richard, and I wanted a boy, but I had a girl.
Which viewers couldn't help but fall for her content. People started calling her the queen of bringing sarcasm back in a society that is trying to cancel comedy for every little thing. By the end of 2022, she had over 3 million followers on TikTok, and during July 2023, she was making $250,000 to $300,000 per year just from brand deals on TikTok and from the Creator Fund. Despite that, being a viral TikToker wasn't an easy job, as Bobbi said this during an interview.
Every day I'm having to come up and like go viral, and it's like no matter how long you've been doing it, going viral and keeping being viral is not easy. So it's like every day I was still posting 10 videos a day, even when I had my 3 million followers, and some of those videos would completely flop.
And that's when she stumbled across another opportunity.
I saw this video of a girl talking about how much she made from her podcast, and I think I mentally decided that she made like at least $300 a year on her podcast alone, and I was like, that's what I need to do next. Like, I need a podcast.
In April 2023, the Really Good podcast launched with the first episode featuring actor Rick Glassman. And right from the start, it was weird, like her deadpan humor.
How old are you?
22.
You're not 22, you're 38. Why'd you lie?
I'm 22.
You're 38.
Okay.
The whole concept was simple. Put famous people in uncomfortable situations and see what happens. It was risky, but when it worked, it really worked. In July 2023, her episode with comedian Funny Marco dropped, and it went viral immediately. People couldn't believe how uncomfortable the whole thing was, like this one particular moment where Marco talked about how Bobbi wasn't his type.
I don't believe that I'm not your type.
And they loved it. The podcast itself got over 5 million views to this day, while clips of their awkward interactions spread across TikTok. And within days, those snippets had racked up millions of views, with comments saying things like, Marco's humor combined with Bobbi's dryness and innocent personality makes this so hilarious, highly entertaining. This whole podcast is like a game of who folds first. That same month, she interviewed Lil Yachty, and even famous billionaire Mark Cuban got on her show. Riding the popularity of her previous interviews, Bobbi has secured an interview with Drake, and that episode immediately exploded.
That I can
Never
think
heard Drake's song.
Can you sing one?
No, but like I'm just asking you, like, are you gonna be one of like those people? Like, I've never heard you before.
Not that I would recognize. Like, oh,
What?
that's Drake.
Bobbi's awkward interaction with Drake immediately drew fans in, as people had never seen such a huge artist put into such a situation. Within 2 weeks, it hit over 10 million views, and attracting over 400,000 new subscribers to Bobbi's YouTube channel. Besides those impressive numbers, an interview of this caliber also opened many doors for Bobbi, as she now can get any other artist in the industry on her podcast. So she kept booking massive guests like Shaquille O'Neal, Charlie Puth, and Suki Hana. In 2024, she even won the iHeart Podcast Award for the Best Emerging Podcast. Because of Bobbi's success in interviews with high-profile celebrities, she has often been described as an industry plant. And for those who didn't know, an industry plant is a term for someone who rises to fame with surprising speed, thanks to insider connections despite having zero talent. Even Bobbi herself talked about this nickname in another podcast.
Well, you do feel kind of planty. We do have the same manager, so is this
I
kind
know,
of
isn't that
planted?
crazy?
Feels a bit planty.
This is definitely
you got
like
you
Liz.
got here in 5 minutes. It took me 20 years.
Hey, it has been a minute.
And on paper, Bobbi Althoff looked unstoppable. But if you were paying attention to the right places, you could see something was wrong. Despite being married, viewers would notice a highly flirtatious side of Bobbi's personality during the podcast with Drake, like at this moment.
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you. I asked, am I your type? And you said I'd do it. It's not funny. What's your type? Describe it.
Or at this.
I have a really, really big butt. No, I'm so serious and don't laugh at that.
Really?
Yeah.
That wasn't all, however, because Bobbi choosing to interview Drake over attending her daughter's birthday party is another blow to her reputation.
I'm just saying, like, you know,
I flew all the way here
you did. I really do appreciate
on my
that.
daughter's first birthday.
I wasn't gonna bring that up.
which surprised Drake a lot.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
Where's your son?
Somewhere safe, and it's not his birthday.
When's his birthday?
What does it matter? It ain't today.
Coincidentally, while Bobbi was having an interview in Drake's bed, her husband was finalizing their divorce, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for their breakup. He also listed their date of separation as July 4th, which was around the same time the interview had happened. While the couple split in peace, it didn't stop people from speculating that Drake had something to do with it, as rumors about the two having a romantic connection spread like wildfire. Even Dave Portnoy, host of BFF podcast, had to ask her, "My girlfriend says you hooked up with Drake and got divorced. I'm saying that is not true." And Bobbi replied with, "I am not commenting publicly, but off the record, you're right, that is not true." It didn't matter what Bobbi posted. Viewers kept speculating, and negative comments about her started flooding in on every single one of Bobbi's posts, even reaching her ex-husband's page. Sorry that your ex sold you out for clout and fame. It was to the point that she had to post on Instagram showing some of the hostile comments she was getting, claiming she spent her weekends jumping from famous guy to famous guy. Then she wrote the following: "I never respond to this comment that I've been getting a million times a day for the last year, but I am really sick of seeing it. You don't know why my marriage ended. I never slept with someone I interviewed. I don't sleep around and I rarely ever go out. It's so frustrating that I can't post a single thing without comments about how I'm being passed around." Eventually, TMZ revealed the actual reason for the divorce. Bobbi's skyrocketing fame and her ex-husband's desire to remain a normie was the main catalyst, and that it had nothing to do with allegations of cheating. While that settled the divorce rumor, there were still questions about how she got the interview and why she was signed up to the same talent agency as Drake. During an interview on the BFF's podcast, Bobbi revealed how she DM'd Drake after a viral podcast with Marco.
Drake liked one of the videos I had uploaded and he followed me. So I was like, come on my podcast. I said, when are you going to come on my podcast?
And he just was
He said,
game right
yeah.
away.
And how she signed to the talent agency.
A message from Andrew at WME. He says, like, I'm part of the touring team. Can we talk? I said, okay, because I had I didn't know what I was doing. They signed with me that night.
But eventually, the connection between the two wouldn't last long, because on the 14th of August 2023, Bobbi Althoff and Drake unfollowed each other on Instagram, and she seems to have deleted any content from her Drake interview on socials. Even though Bobbi couldn't access her most viral interviews anymore, she kept her signature interviewing style and really leaned into it on her podcast. But before she could rebuild her reputation, things got even worse. In February 2024, Bobbi woke up one morning and discovered she was trending on X for all of the wrong reasons. Deepfake pornographic videos using her face was spreading across the platform. Within 9 hours, one of the clips hit over 4.5 million views, causing a wave of backlash and concern among her fanbase. In response to the sexual content that was circulating online, Althoff used her social media accounts to correct the record. "Hate to disappoint you all, but the reason I'm trending is 100% not me, and definitely AI generated." After the deepfake incident, Bobbi continued pushing forward with her signature interviewing style. now. Speaking of pushing forward and staying aware of what's happening around you, this video is sponsored by Raycon. Look, with Mother's Day coming up, I've been thinking about what to get my mom. She's always on the go doing errands, but regular earbuds block out everything around her, which honestly stresses me out. That's why I got her Raycon's Essential Open Earbuds. They sit outside your ear, so you can listen to music or podcasts but still hear what's happening around you. My mom can actually hear if someone's calling her name or if a car is coming, which keeps her safe. But the best thing is the sound stays clear and balanced without feeling shut off from the world. And they actually stay in. I've used mine at the gym or just doing stuff around the house. They're super light and the ear hook rotates so they don't fall out or get uncomfortable. Raycon has over 3 million customers, and honestly, the sound quality matches those way more expensive brands. Plus, Raycon offers a 30-day guarantee, so if your mom already got the same gift from your siblings, then you're covered. I use my Raycons pretty much every day when I'm researching for these videos or just listening to music while editing. Right now, you can go to buyraycon.com/RyanPicturesOpen to get 15% off the Essential Open earbuds. Thanks again to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Anyway, back to Bobbi Althoff, but it didn't quite turn out the way she'd hoped during a podcast episode with Offset.
You ain't got no seasoning, man. You like a plain piece of chicken, just on the thing, you pull it off, and then you serve the dish. You need some motherfucking seasoning, man.
All right, you can leave now.
This is my hotel. I paid for this motherfucker. You can leave now.
Usually, it would be the guest who would be put in an uncomfortable situation, but this time, Bobbi was the victim, as Offset took every opportunity to roast her.
What do you do? That's the question.
I interview people
Why?
because I want to get to know them.
Why do you want to get to know me?
I didn't.
You did.
Your team reached out to mine.
Don't cap. Let's not cap about that. That's not flex for the gram.
Clips from the interview would go viral across social media as viewers finally got to see Bobbi get a taste of her own medicine, with comments like, "This is probably the most challenging interview for Bobbi so far. Bro demolished her, had her on defense the whole podcast." This was a clear sign that fans were tired of Bobbi's interviewing style as her views started falling down, and amid controversies, something else was happening outside of Bobbi's control. Her audience was starting to turn on the podcast itself. The podcast was dying, going from 20 million views per month at the end of 2024 to just barely 6 million views 3 months later. The contrast is even bigger when you compare her first several episodes with the ones in 2025, as the early episodes were casually pulling millions of views, while the later ones couldn't even get 500,000 views. When her podcast started in 2023, they were full of positive comments like, "It's rare that two people I've never heard of make me laugh for an hour straight. This was special." And her podcasts actually helped the celebrities so much by showing their personalities to fans. But fast forward to later episodes, there were a lot of negative comments saying she's by far the worst interviewer I've ever watched, or still trying to figure out how she even got this famous. There was even a review article calling Bobbi's podcast as the Not So Really Good Podcast, in which it said the following: "The Really Good Podcast doesn't quite live up to its name. While it takes a unique approach to podcasting by presenting unscripted, casual conversations with well-known people, the content itself is boring. The episodes also lack direction and a central theme, probably because they only consist of small talk. The podcast fails to deliver anything substantial or thought-provoking. Instead, it provides a glimpse into how celebrities behave in casual settings, which may seem intriguing to some, but ultimately fail to engage me." The author then also shared their not-so-positive experience with the episode with Mark Cuban, saying, "Due to the lack of direction and narrative of the conversation, I couldn't get through the hour. It seemed like Althoff was winging it, which made it difficult for me to stay engaged before delivering the final verdict. If you're looking for a podcast that keeps you engaged and entertained or provides valuable insight, the Really Good Podcast should not be next on your list." Even Funny Marco began to criticize her podcast, saying,
"I think you're funny, Marco, but let me learn about you." So on my interview, it gave that open where she was like trying to figure me out. But now it's like the interviews, I think they're like, she's trying to shit on people.
And the style of her podcast had also changed as well. What used to be dry, sarcastic banter is now just regular conversation, and all the awkward quiet moments are often cut out in editing. However, this only makes it even less entertaining, as it lost the only thing that made Bobbi's podcast popular.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 21.
You're 21?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so young.
I'm a baby still.
Wait, I didn't realize you were so young. I thought we were the same age. Now I feel really old.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
You're not really old.
This entire interview feels like they are making small talk while waiting for something. And she also started getting ruder in subsequent episodes, like this one with Dax Flame.
What makes for good conversation typically for you?
I don't like that question.
What?
And viewers couldn't stand it, saying the best part of the podcast was the beginning when she wasn't there, and treated Dax terribly, showed up late, said that the interview was embarrassing, and basically complained the entire time. But that wasn't the final problem, because as the podcast grew, so did the sponsorships. As a result, Bobbi started adding more ads into her video, which made people feel like they were being sold to instead of entertained. This is especially notable when she published a video introducing season 5 of the Really Good podcast, and it was so annoying that people couldn't help but complain in the comment section, saying things like, if commercials were a channel, and how many effing ads do we have here? It's almost like I have to watch ads with a little bit of video. And there was one more problem people didn't see coming. The format didn't work live. In late 2024, Bobbi and Funny Marco announced a joint tour where the two joined forces in real life for a quote, hilariously deadpan interview showdown. But then Marco published a video titled Why Did Me and Bobbi Cancel Our Tour, which detailed the differences that made it impossible for the two to work together.
Bobbi was stiff a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey man, let's really work on this. Like, and I paid script writers, like, let's really get him a show. And where she told me, that's not me. Bobbi was like, my comedy is me not talking a lot. And I'm like, shit.
He also gave out the reason why the show wouldn't work even if they tried.
But again, when people pay them tickets and I'm trying to put a production show together and then you're not saying nothing and I'm up there trying to talk and I'm like, hey, Bobbi, and you're just like this, it was just like, it was hurting me.
Before acknowledging it wasn't anyone's fault, but just simply the difference in comedy style.
I don't want to do it again. I wanted it to get better, but Bobbi was just in her ways of doing it how she wanted to do it, and I was in my ways to do it how I want to do it. So nobody's in the wrong.
Marco tried to explain why the tour wasn't working and why canceling was the best move for everyone. But Bobbi didn't see it that way, as she took Marco's feedback as a personal attack and fired back aggressively. She first explained her situation at the time of the tour cancellation.
Last year, we were supposed to go on tour, and I backed out last minute because my husband had just left me. I just had surgery, and I was super nervous going into this because I was not prepared.
Then she went on revealing her side of the story.
I text Marco, and I said, Marco, I'm so sorry to do this, but I am so depressed right now. I literally want to myself. He doesn't reply to me, and then he unfollows me. I woke up from surgery actually to him unfollowing me. And not only that, in the coming weeks, he would go on multiple podcasts and talk about how much he didn't fuck with my style of humor.
Bobbi also shared how Marco forced her to act like someone she isn't during the tour.
During this tour, I'm trying my best. Every time I'm telling him, like, Marco, he's like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm like, Marco, I'm trying my best, but like, it's hard for me to get out of my comfort zone of like, I have social anxiety.
And how he just canceled the tour without explaining anything to her.
A couple more weeks, I hear from my team that he canceled it, and I'm like, what the hell? Marco canceled the show, like, why? They're like, I don't know. So I'm like calling him, doesn't answer me.
The failed tour was just another sign of what everyone could already see. Bobbi Althoff's podcast era was coming to an end. And in July 2025, she finally admitted it. On July 31st, 2025, after months of declining views and increasing backlash, Bobbi announced that the podcast was over through a video titled This Is the Last Episode. In the episode, Bobbi reflected on what the podcast meant to her.
This is the last episode of the Really Good Podcast, and it has been a dream. Every second of it.
But it wasn't long before she had to throw an ad in it.
I do hate to do this. I don't, because it pays me, but I have some ads to do really quick, so I figured it could be part of the... I don't know about you, but my social feeds are packed with wild health.
And gave what many wanted to hear. But in contrast to the video's theme, the comment section is beamed with positive comments from viewers, saying things like, this is a good reminder that all bad things do come to an end. As well as, definitely won't miss the 252,726 ads per her episode, and left her family for this, by the way. You'd think ending the podcast would give Bobbi a fresh start, but it didn't because the internet wasn't done with her yet. A few months after ending the podcast, Bobbi started dating a basketball player named Tyler Hawkins, and in an interview with People magazine about their relationship, Bobbi disclosed that I shared just silly videos and stuff, but our actual relationship I don't really share too much about. The more I share with people, the more they have on me to comment about. And that is exactly what she got. In November 2025, Bobbi posted a simple TikTok video dancing with Tyler, but the comments were full of hate, to the point that she broke down in tears after reading comments calling her ran through and saying she sleeps with every guy.
About how I'm ran through, and oh, look, another one, or he probably doesn't know how ran through she is, or just mean things.
She also mentioned how much hate she was getting every single time she posted anything.
And if I post any video, truly in general, the amount of hate comments I get are just like unreal. And I think it's because I have a lot of men following me, and they just have so much to say. They have so many mean things to say.
But like she said, nobody in the comment section agreed with her at all, with comments saying, "You wanted to be famous and ditched your family. What did you expect?" Well, if you stopped doing interviews laying in the bed with random rappers, maybe people wouldn't think that. But her love life wasn't the only thing people were paying attention to, because if you take a look at her recent appearances on other podcasts, there is one thing different about Bobbi's face. Her face looks a lot more puffy than before, so now viewers have another reason to throw shade at her, saying things like, "She used to be so cute, now she looks like the puffer fish from Super Mario. What happened to her face?" And of course, Bobbi couldn't let it slide and clapped back with another video calling out the haters.
I am so tired of all of the comments of people saying she ruined her face and she can't even move her face, it's so frozen, she has so much filler.
Before setting the record straight.
The only thing I have done to my face is that I have a little bit of filler in my upper lip, okay? That is it. I do not have cheek filler, but you guys seem to think I do because I put on a lot of weight.
She also pointed out the bigger issue she had with people leaving mean comments on her content, but the problem stays the same.
You people seem to not care about your digital footprint. Like, I just don't understand, because I don't know a single successful person or normal person who leaves hater comments under anything.
Wherever she goes, the hate will follow her, and it'll sabotage every single comeback attempt she makes. Despite all the backlash, Bobbi wasn't ready to give up, so she decided to try one more time with the same person who started it all. In September 2025, Bobbi launched a new podcast called Not This Again with Bobbi Althoff, with monthly episodes instead of weekly. In the podcast description, she introduced the podcast as a more elevated version of my last show, higher stakes and fewer chances of anyone making me delete it. Starting in episode 2, I'll even come prepared with actual questions, better production, more awkward silences, and conversations you won't find anywhere else. The first guest was none other than Drake, the one who helped Bobbi become the creator we say today, and he was back right at the moment Bobbi needed a push for her comeback attempt. And in the episode, viewers finally got what they had been waiting for, the real reason of why Drake unfollowed her. It turned out that before one of his concerts, the two got into a little argument over text. Then when Bobbi showed up at Drake's show, things escalated.
I felt like you were mad at me there. I sent you a nice little message while you were still on stage and I left early. Basically, it was not a nice message, and then
I was like 4 songs from the finale and you were already...
No, you were... That's not true.
So he hit back the only way he could.
You saw your phone and then you
I saw my phone and I...
And then within 20 minutes, I'm blocked on text, Instagram, everywhere in the interview has to be pulled
your
down.
message wasn't nice.
It wasn't, and I'm not disagreeing with that.
After they cleared out their misunderstanding, both of them apologized on camera.
I'm sorry, and I'm really glad that
I'm sorry too.
Drake even defended her publicly against all the hate she had been receiving, telling her the people leaving nasty comments aren't genuine.
It's a purposeful action, and it's not the genuine reaction to how people feel about you. People think you're funny, they think you're great, they would love to sit across from you and laugh with you. They do think you're a great mother, they do think you're cute, they don't think you look 40 in the face. You know, they think lovely things about you.
But just like the first interview, they couldn't stop flirting.
You have a soft spot for me.
Yeah. Aww. And I'm really happy that we
did this again.
That we did this, because I love you, Bobbi.
I love you too. I still don't know what to call you, but I love you too.
Well, We'll save that for episode 3.
This reminded viewers a lot of what happened a few years earlier with the first episode, with comments like, "Isn't this why her husband divorced her in the first place? Very unlikely, but these two are madly in love with each other." Despite that, the episode looked like a success as it racked up over 3 million views since it was published. But the same could not be said about the subsequent episodes. Compared to her glory days, this was pale in comparison. But aside from launching another podcast, Bobbi also tried her luck at acting. She's set to make her acting debut in the upcoming rom-com called Love Language, but the details about Bobbi's role and the film's plots are under wraps as the project is in its early stages of development. But this is not Bobbi's only attempt to pivot away from the image of a dry and socially awkward interviewer, because she also participated in a stand-up comedy special as a part of Netflix's A Joke. But if you take a look at the comments, the negativity is still there. She wouldn't even stand up for her family, clearly can't do stand-up. Please make a joke about the abandonment of your family. So on the outside, Bobbi is still a successful creator with over 8 million followers on TikTok and multiple ongoing projects. But the public perception is permanently skewed. Every piece of content she posts now gets flooded with the same negative comments about her abandoning her kids for fame or that she cheated with Drake. Bobbi Althoff's career is over because even with the opportunities, the haters will follow her everywhere, reminding her of everything she did in the past. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy these next ones as well, and don't forget to subscribe.